Hey guys, Doc the Roof here, and this week I'm going to talk about Restoration Shaman and how it works in Mists of Pandaria. I've been playing for a few days now as far as trying out Resto Shaman in dungeons, and I've also been doing a little bit of PvP, a couple duels, things like that, just to see what works and what doesn't. There's some cool new glyphs and new changes I want to talk about. Overall, I'd say Resto Shaman's actually doing pretty good right now. It's pretty easy to play, actually. It's surprising. A lot of people have been talking about how underwhelming Enhancement Shaman DPS is and things of that nature, and maybe I'm just so used to playing Shaman, but I mean, I am having no problems doing any of the three specs: Resto, Enhance, Elemental. And actually right now, from a restoration standpoint, things couldn't be easier. I have no add-ons whatsoever. I'm using straight mouseover macros and the Blizzard standard user interface, Blizzard art bar. I've just got my main healing spells hotkeyed 1 to 7 on my Razor Naga right here. I've got my weapon imbue, Earth Living Weapons, hotkeyed to 12 on my mouse. That's all I do. I just mouse over the straight up portraits and heal, and with mouse over macros it's really easy. I'm actually going to include some of the mouse over macros I use that do work in the current Mists of Pandaria build in the comments section, so if you guys are wanting to heal, and actually it's just a standard mouse over macro too, so if it's something you want to try as a druid or a paladin, if you're sick of using add-ons, I know add-ons cut down on latency a little bit and it can slow everything down, but for the quickest heals you're going to get off, I've always found that just straight up hotkeying the buttons to mouse over and mousing over your target using either the party UI or the raid UI are probably the best option. And that's just a tip I'm giving you as a healer. It's a great way to cut out the BS, a lot of the grid click stuff, a lot of the helium stuff, different things people are using. Just mouse over macros work great. But it takes some getting used to. In any event, back to Mists of Pandaria and some of the different changes. Some of the biggest changes are actually to some of the most simple spells, and I'll get to that in a second here. What it is Riptide. Riptide is a huge change. Well, some people would consider a minor change. It's basically what they're doing is they're taking the tier 12 4-set bonus, which is that your chain heal no longer consumes the Riptide on your target, and they've just made that a blanket effect in the game. So now when you learn Riptide, it's just like that forever from now on. One of the things I've noticed is you can glyph now Riptide to not do an initial heal, but also not to have any cooldown. I find this really interesting because you can quickly drop Riptides on the melee, like a 5-man dungeon for example. You can just drop Riptides, and since it's no longer being consumed by the target, anybody you chain heal off gets the Riptide bonus. If your primary target is affected by Riptide in the current build as it is right now with Mists of Pandaria, if your target is affected by Riptide, it gets the chain heal proc of 25% greater healing, which is great because Riptide doesn't dispel when you chain heal. So, and think about this, if you're not using chain heal or Riptide for burst healing, for like an instant cast, oh shit, burst heal, you can glyph it so that you just have Riptide up on everybody all the time. Bam, 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 mouse over, mouse over, mouse over, click. Everybody's got Riptide. Everybody benefits from chain heal proc. Actually, what I've been doing in a lot of the dungeons I've been doing is I drop a healing reins, I Riptide everybody, Earth Shield the tank, and just chain heal off the tank. There's been a few instances where I've done an Unleash Elements Greater Healing Wave or an Unleash Elements Healing Surge, but for the most part I haven't had to even really do that. I mean, healing seems to be really easy, and I just copied my character, my Shaman over, and my Shaman's in all Justice Point gear. There's a couple Valor pieces. I think I have the 397 head and a couple 384 Raid Finder pieces. I don't have any Mists of Pandaria gear whatsoever. All my gear is from Cataclysm. All those problems I had starting out myself personally in Cataclysm, there was definitely a learning curve when you started doing heroics in Cataclysm. Coming from Lich King, where it was literally just stack haste, chain heal, to Cataclysm, where it was an intensive, you had to learn your rotation, you had to know your shit, you had to be on the ball. But as long as you had that, I mean, heroics were doable, and if you're running with a good group. In Mists of Pandaria, I literally just queue for random dungeons. Don't know anything about any of the bosses' fights, don't do any research, just don't stand in stuff, and healing rain everybody, chain heal. That's it. And it's been working great. Another thing I wanted to talk about, I haven't really used this glyph as much because I personally like to spam chain heal. My character's name is chainheal. I've been chain healing since chain heal was chain heal. But there's a glyph of chaining, which is a major glyph, and it increases the jump distance of your chain heal spell by 100%, but gives the spell a 4-second cooldown. Now, to me, the glyph is situational. There's times in raids, and sometimes even in 5-mans, where I'm not paying attention. I see somebody get low on health, and I just chain heal them, and it turns out to be a hunter or something, and they're nowhere near anybody else, and I'm always like, fuck, I wasted a GCD on chain heal. That was stupid. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen. So for me, paying attention replaces Glyph of Chaining, and I can see the usefulness of it because then you can just straight up chain off the hunter if the hunter's standing and stuff like hunters do, and just not doing anything the way they're supposed to be doing it. So overall, I think Glyph of Chaining is kind of... it's a toss-up. I've experimented with it. I haven't liked it. The other major glyph is Cleansing Waters, and Cleansing Waters is when you dispel a harmful magic or curse effect from the ally, you also heal the target 4% of your maximum health. I do have that glyphed because you do dispel. They kind of clumped improved Cleanse Spirit and everything into the new spell. So you, since there's no talent tree anymore, obviously, everything just kind of, it's as if you had to talent it into Improved Cleanse. Overall, I think mana regeneration's actually been fairly smooth in some of the new dungeons. I haven't had much mana problems. Even just dropping Healing Rain and spamming Chain Heal, which are fairly expensive spells. Still haven't had many mana problems. So I think the best bet is probably, as far as major glyphs go, is probably going to be Cleansing Waters, Riptide, and Water Shield. And pretty much your minor glyphs are all just aesthetics. Literally all just aesthetics. I picked Astral Recall. There's another one that Glyph of Deluge, your Chain Heal now has a watery appearance, which is pretty cool. There's one called Lake Strider, which anytime you enter Ghost Wolf form, you automatically gain Water Walking, which is pretty neat. They took out the minor glyph that gives you, that removes Regents. They also removed the Regents. From a PvP perspective, Resto Shamans are virtually unstoppable. I mean, I've been in a few duels. I've done a couple different war game stuff, scenarios. It's hard to kill a Resto Shaman, man. It really is. I don't know what it's going to be like at 90, what the situation's going to be like then, but I really don't have to put much effort or risk a lot of mana to stay alive one-on-one. Alright guys, so that's it for this week. That's it for Resto Shaman. Keep your eyes peeled for my latest video, which is going to be a Diablo 3 Witch Doctor video, as well as some of my personal thoughts on how Diablo 3 is as a whole. And don't forget to subscribe and like. And don't forget to look on our channel for our Razor Naga giveaway. We're giving away one free Razor Naga on June 8th. Thanks for watching.